Beautiful. All right, so good evening, good morning, good afternoon, g'day, aloha, howdy, hola. Wherever you're from, welcome to this exciting Zoom that we have here. Like all of our Zooms, no matter what reason you tune in or what team you do it with, it's a place where we can believe, belong, and become. And so that is sort of a key motto around our organization. And today we hope for you to be able to do all of those things in more, to believe more, to belong more, to become more. So we're going to be going through some very important information today about a tremendous breakthrough that from the moment it was handed to me almost 6 years ago now, it's been high priority for me to bring it to everybody's attention, because the impact that it's having in people's lives is significantly deep. And that's why the priority of importance of this information is incredibly high. And I feel a great sense of responsibility to get this information out to everyone, for themselves and for their loved ones. We're going to show you proof. That's all in the pudding. We're going to show it to you in a couple of ways. We're going to show you science, but we're going to show you the impact that this is having in real people's lives. We've got two very special guests on the Zoom today who are going to give us their personal life-changing experiences. So we'll be going over life-changing breakthrough, life-changing experiences, life-changing culture, life-changing financial opportunity. So hang around. We're going to put it all into one. Let's dive right into this, shall we? All right. So what I'll be sharing with you is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical experts say this is a very big breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. This is an exciting and entirely new frontier in science. You've never seen or heard of anything like this before. And in fact, for 2 decades, science had declared that this was impossible. This is a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory studies. It's a very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or any health challenges you can think of, remarkable results. And drug companies wanted it shut down. If you ask me, I don't think they wanted you to know about it, but we'll talk about that more a little later. Before I tell you what this is, I want to be absolutely crystal clear about what this is not. Because this is not like anything else you've ever seen before. This is not a drug, thank goodness. It's not a vitamin, minerals, and it's not antioxidants. It's also not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, angel oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, laser light, fruits, magical 5,000-year-old G, CBD oils, lotions, potions, gadgets, or any of all of that other stuff that's already out there. Instead, what we're going to be talking about here is nothing less than an entirely new frontier in science. It goes well beyond nutrition. It probably goes well beyond any type of ingredients you already know about. This is a truly groundbreaking and category-creating healthcare breakthrough. So here it is. This is what it is. ASEA Redox cell signaling technology. It contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Well, redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. They're made inside of your body, so they're native to your body. Redox signaling molecules are the cellular messengers that affect cell signaling, cell-to-cell communication, all the way down to your genetic expressions in a positive way. Now listen, redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that allows your body to regenerate tissue and maintain health. Redox signaling molecules allow your cells to detect and protect healthy cells, detect and repair unhealthy cells, and detect and replace damaged cells that can't be repaired. So basically, redox signaling empowers your body to heal itself. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Now, why is this all so important? Because we are all made of cells. We live and die at the cellular level. Healthy cells, healthy body, healthy life. They're the keys to life. On that note, redox signaling molecules are essential for the function of our normal physiology. All of our biochemical and physiological processes in our body critically depend on redox signaling in and among our cells. And I mean critically, because let me put it to you like this. If all of our cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, we wouldn't live longer than a few more seconds. Tick, 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 seconds. Without our redox signaling molecules, life ends. Now, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, can run around all day and not wake up sore the next. And it's also how they can generally bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down. And our body's ability to make redox molecules declines daily. Without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing process that we just spoke about previously, that all becomes very slow and sluggish. As such, our cells break down even more, and so does our health, wellness, youth, vitality, and rate of healing. Now, ASEA takes science very seriously, very seriously. And so doesn't do any scientific studies themselves. Instead, ASEA is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories. They're allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of redox signaling supplementation, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in everybody. Now, I want to portray to you how serious the science is, this field that we're in. Redox is based in Nobel Prize-winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules, there have now since been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published in the National Library of Medicine, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see there are well over 33,000 results. This slide I know is already out of date because it's a very difficult slide for me to keep up with, because there's more than 150 studies coming out almost every single month. There are over 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling molecules. And so according to medical researchers, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. And I'll give you some examples. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and world redox congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And ASEA is already light years ahead. ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits. Now that translates to health at its most foundational level. Here's an example. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. But that's not all. These genes that we just mentioned are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. On top of that, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Now, head professors of this university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what he called disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, doctors have taught me that that is significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe. It's safer than your drinking water that you're buying in bottles. There's 0% toxicity in ASEA. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and or healthier. And so if you have health challenges, or if you have people that you care for who do, or if you have a wish that you could look, live and feel young again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, or if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism in your sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But you know what? Don't take my word for it. Let's listen to some medical doctors right now and what they have to say about this incredible field of redox science.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. You can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
Okay, so now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, which can be a little bit tricky to see, right? Let's talk about it from the outside in now, which can be easier to see. And that is made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, Renew 28, Revitalizing Redox Gel, and Renew Advanced Intensive Redox Serum. These Redox technologies, these Redox products are supported and enhanced by their complementary and all natural ingredients products, Renew Advanced Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture paints 1,000 words or speaks 1,000 words. So let's let some of these pictures do the talking now. And what you're going to see in many regards is not just anti-aging results, but age reversing results, lines and wrinkles being smoothed out, elasticity coming back to the skin, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin, being rejuvenated, being renewed, even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions being brought back to the proper surfaces of the skin. Now, these pictures are all of the same lady, Rosie. The first two on the left, even though they look dramatically different, they're all the same lady. The moral of this story is take pictures, because Rosie didn't take these pictures and it was her doctor that took these pictures. But because Rosie didn't have those pictures over the 7 weeks, as you can see in those first two photos, she missed the moment by moment, day by day, week by week changes that were happening. When she reported back to a doctor to say these products weren't working, the doctor showed her the pictures, and of course, Rosie changed her mind and she's been on the product now for a few years. So take pictures. When you get back to the person you introduced this to and you want to get on the products and naturally want to see how it goes, taking pictures so you can see how it goes is the way to do it. And also keep a score, a record, writing down a journal of things you can't see. The other moral of this story is that some people notice results very quickly, like Rosie did over 7 weeks. Some people notice results within 7 days. A lot of people notice results in around about 7 to 10 minutes. However, other people need to apply more product. They need to apply more time and more patience. Generally, if they've got something more going on with their health, inside or out, that they're challenged with. What we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are redox signaling molecules. They're the same in you as they are in me, as they are in plants and animals, as they are in our bottles of ASEA. And so it would be scientifically impossible for redox to not work on you. It works in every single person, every single time. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Now, this is Dr. Marty Moran, and I've had the good pleasure of meeting him a few times. I'm not sure if he's on the Zoom this evening. But he did us the world an incredible favor by using Renew 28. He did a scientific experiment on his very own face. How brave. He used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the difference? Let me give you some clues. Have a look at the lines running down either side of the corner of the mouth. Or how about the lines running down either side of the nose? Or how about the cheeks? Do you notice any difference in the definition of wrinkles on one side as opposed to the other? Here's perhaps the biggest clue of all. How about how those glasses seem to be slanting to one side of the face? I'm not sure if that suggests there was more sagginess or droopiness on one side of the face, but thank you, Dr. Marty Moran, because this brave man literally walked around like a weirdo for 28 days and proved to us how effective Renew 28 is where you use it versus where you don't. But you can use Renew 28 all over your body. It's not just for your face, arms, hands, bellies, and even bums. These are pictures from a study performed by a very renowned and world-leading laboratory. This scientific organization did this study because there were many reports coming in from all over the world that people were seeing their cellulite disappear, and those people were attributing it to the time that they'd been using Renew 28. And so this scientific organization and their scientists set upon double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trials to see if there was any truth to these stories. And what they found was that after 12 weeks, there was in fact a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And when the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover why this was happening, they saw the fat, the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite, was actually being dissolved post the use of Renew 28. And so Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of wrinkles and cellulite, enhancing skin texture and smoothing the skin, supporting surface skin cell renewal, not just for visibly younger looking skin, but actual healthier skin. Renew 28 also helps soothe skin discomfort after things perhaps such as shaving, sun exposure. But it's not just for the skin. Renew 28 helps soothe discomfort around the body. Now, you can know if ASEA works in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, for example, neck, shoulder, elbows, hand, fingers, back, hip, knees, ankles, anywhere, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being maximum discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on the point of discomfort 3 times within 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of discomfort within approximately 5 to 10 minutes. And others need just a little bit more time, but generally everyone notices a result. Now, nothing that I have said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. But what I'd like to do very quickly is introduce our first guest. We're going to have 2 today. Our first guest that I want to introduce is Mia Skipwith. Are you there, Mia?
I am, yeah.
Awesome. Now, I apologize that I didn't have a bit of a bio prepped about you, but I know that you're in Australia. So do you want to tell folks, first of all, where are you from?
Yes, originally I'm from Auckland, New Zealand, but my husband and myself and our 4 children have been living in Melbourne, Australia for the last 17 years.
Awesome. And how long have you been with ASEA?
I found ASEA in September 2015.
Awesome.
So it's been a few years.
Awesome. Awesome. I love your accent, by the way. I'll have to get my wife to spend a bit more time with you because hers comes out when she's around the Kiwis, because that's where she's from as well. So
I love your accent too.
G'day, mate. Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm so happy that you're here and that you're going to share an incredible story with us. So I'll hand it over to you. I'm very looking forward to hearing from you. So take it away.
Thanks, Stevie. I'm just going to share my screen. Thanks for having me. It's lovely to be here with you all from all around the world. My presentation today is called Start with Hope. Have you ever, I'm sure you have, seen a picture of a newborn baby and a mother holding a newborn baby? I'm not sure there's anything as lovely as watching that new mum looking at her newborn baby, and dad as well. I'd love to show you a photo of me with loving parents. Unfortunately, I don't have one. That's the beginning of my story. And have you ever had a sibling that you didn't know about? I had an experience in 2014 where I received a message on Facebook from a woman who said she was my sister. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know if she was telling the truth, but as it turned out, she was. She was my sister that I never knew about. I met her for the first time in 2014 when we lay our father's ashes. It was the first time I met her. In 2017, I had the same experience. I met my brother for the first time when we buried our mother. So I grew up in a home that it was traumatic. There was things about my childhood that were very, very difficult. And one of them was that I did not grow up knowing some of my siblings or having a strong family bond and parents who were even present. By the time I was 15, I was a ward of the state. I was in a foster home because I had put my father in prison. And so I was a young woman who wondered a lot, where do I belong? Who do I belong to? My first foster family, I loved them and I loved their children, but they weren't my siblings who I had to leave behind in a courtroom when they were taken away from me. I decided at that point that I needed to find my way in life. And one of my passions was Japan. And from a young age, I had dreamed of visiting this beautiful place of kimono and ikebana, flower arranging. And so in my teenage years, I was very fortunate to be awarded a Rotary scholarship and to travel and go to work and school in Japan. And I've realized throughout my life that at particular times in my life, I feel that there has been saving graces, and this was one of them. Japan was like that for me. The other thing that I loved was running. There's not many photos of me as a child doing anything. This particular one was taken by a school teacher because my family wasn't there. So there was this thread, this parallel thread in my life of where did I belong? Who did I belong to? I wished somebody was there to see me win that race. As a high school student, I had enough talent to make it to a national level and was training for the 1990 Commonwealth Games in the 200-metre sprint. Unfortunately, this is the first recognition I had of my own body and the pain that was starting to develop in my body due to an autoimmune condition that would not be diagnosed for another 15 years. By my early 20s, I was suicidal. I'll just say that. That's straight up how it was. I was alone. I felt alone. I did have family, extended family around me, but largely my life had been one of survival and of getting through and of trauma. And at this point in my life, I was very lost. The pain it was developing in my body. I would go on to be diagnosed with an autoimmune condition called ankylosing spondylitis, which is a disease that causes fusion of the spine and other joints. And it was at this point in my life where that was really starting to kick in. But in 1997, a miracle happened and I found the love of my life, my best friend. And we have spent the last 26 years together. And in that 26 years, we have added 4 beautiful children to our family. And I have spent the last 26 years trying to be the mum that I didn't have. I have enjoyed every minute of it. And it didn't matter what my children were doing, whatever they were doing, I was there. I was there for every achievement, every running race, every debate, every school award. I was there. And it was intentional, but I was also very sick. The ankylosing spondylitis or the arthritis was taking hold after every child. I was in excruciating pain after birth, and it was getting harder and harder. 15 years ago, I was told that I, at this age, 50, would not be able to walk anymore, that I would be permanently in a wheelchair, that my spine would fuse, and that I would be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. So even though I knew all of those things, and those things were very hard for me, and I was in a lot of pain, I never let anything stop me because I wanted to be there for my children. That was my number one priority, was to be there for my family and my children. But in 2015, I was struggling. In September 2015, because my immune system was struggling so much, a family camping trip turned into a tragedy, a bit of a tragedy. I, on a family camping trip, was exposed to a tick-borne illness. And in September of 2015, struggling with both the autoimmune condition and this tick-borne illness, didn't think that I was going to make it. There's some beautiful women in this picture. The 2 in the front are very special. Andrea is in the blue cardigan. she called me one day and I said to her, I just don't think I'm going to make it. The doctors didn't know what was wrong with me at that point. We didn't understand it was a tick-borne infection. I had terrible symptoms, from excruciating pain in the bottom of my feet to very high blood sugar levels and very low blood pressure. I couldn't drive anymore. My appetite had gone. It looked like I had chronic fatigue. I had precancerous cysts growing in my body, as though I was suffering from 10 different conditions. But by September 2015, I had paralysis in my left leg up to my knee and up to my right calf. And I understood, I knew that you can't get paralysis in your major organs. So my friend Andrea called me. She was willing to challenge her beliefs as a medical nurse and a researcher. She was the one that called me and said to me, first mentioned ASEA. It was very new. She didn't know anything about it, but her research had led her to some information. I was attending a naturopathic appointment that day, and when I got there, I had completely forgotten what my beautiful friend had told me. She said, make sure you talk to the naturopath about this product. She may know about it. After confirming that I had a tick-borne illness and crying with me because she was my friend, she said, I can't help you, Mia. I prayed for 9 months, and my faith in God, I had said to God, if you're willing, and if I can, I don't want to leave. I'm not ready to leave my family. I need to find whatever it is. I believe there's something. I don't know what it is, but I know that there's something. I know it in my heart. When I went to the naturopath that day, I'd completely forgotten what my friend had told me. However, the naturopath had hundreds of bottles, little brown bottles, on her desktop. And right at the front, as I looked down and barely could see through the fogginess of my brain and my vision, I saw a tiny bottle at the front with a handwritten sticker with the words ASEA. And it jogged my memory. And I remembered what my friend had told me. And I knew straight away. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know the Nortons. I didn't know anything about what this product was, but I knew it was going to help me. I left that appointment, and the beautiful lady on the right of me is Carmel. This is a photo taken when 15 years ago in another company, actually. I trusted Carmel, and I walked into Carmel's home, and I said she saw, and she cried with me, and she introduced me to my first 10 ml of what tasted like pool water. It didn't bother me what it tasted like. I didn't understand the science. I just knew that this was going to help. I trusted my friend, I trusted the naturopath, and I trusted Carmel. 2 days later, I called Carmel very early in the morning, crying and asking her why I was able to get out of bed and not feel pain in the bottom of my feet. I'm not saying that's a typical response for everybody, but I'd been in pain as I was walking on glass, excruciating pain for 9 months. And after 2 10 ml doses of ASEA, that pain was gone and it has never come back. I can't tell you, I can't really explain to you what that meant and what in consequent years it has meant to me. But one thing I just wanted to pop in there is be a product of your product. If you, I'm sure many people on this call are using ASEA, but this is photos from my 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Apart from the fact that I got my life back, that I was able to be the mum and the wife that I have always wanted to be, I got my health back. If you don't have that, you don't have anything. But also, I feel, my friend said to me the other day, you look younger in the 50s photo than you do in the 20s photo. So be a product of your product. Use the product. I love the products. I can't speak more highly of the opportunity that these products have given me to regain my health and my wellness, my mental wellness, my physical wellness. Just in closing, I would like to share with you that I didn't come to ASEA looking for an opportunity to earn an income. Well, I was very, very unwell. I was dying. And it would not have been, and Carmel would never have ever have said that to me on that day when I walked into her home. But the reality is that when I started sharing and getting stronger and started sharing my story with others, there became an opportunity for me to earn an income through my story. It's still hard for me to grasp. I'm a Director 700, and I think we don't celebrate that as much. Maybe, or me, I'm not speaking for anyone else. I'm so proud of that. It means that I've helped people, and I've cared about people, and I've opened my mouth to tell people what it can possibly do for them. Is it where I want to end up? No, I have dreams and goals, and I have a family that loves me, and I have forgiven the people that have hurt me in my life. I have faith in God that He has been able to provide a way for me to be healthy and well, and also to have an opportunity to build something really, really beautiful. I have an attitude of gratitude. I know that I dare to dream now, and I'm so grateful for ASEA and the way that it has affected me in so many different ways. I'm so grateful to Vertus Norton and for his courage and his strength to challenge and to say, and to give this back to me personally, to you, so that I can live this life that I have now. Thank you for your time.
Wow, Mia, thank you so much for yours. I hadn't heard your full story before, and so I'm very, very glad that you came on today. And, you know, from, you know, a world of hurt to now being a hero for the world. I'm so grateful for you and, you know, like you're grateful to the Nortons for their, you know, courage. I'm very grateful for your courage to just, you know, get through everything that you've gotten through, and now to, you know, come and share that with the world so you can try and help others, and your courage coming on here today and sharing, you know, obviously a very sore story with us, but how beautifully it's turning out and blooming now. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, folks, I'm going to introduce another guest. And this is a guest that many of you will know, and maybe some of you don't. But this is my best mate, an Aussie, but now living in Hawaii. He's going to tell you his story now, but basically from a 2-year severe life concerning challenge to having his life given back to him through this breakthrough that we're sharing with you today. He's now a multi-million-dollar international success story. He's now the #3 top ranking associate in the world for this organization. He sits on the advisory council for the company globally. He's a $1 million earner in this company. He's in the $1 Million Earners Club. He's highly awarded and rewarded with a Business Builder Award, Entrepreneurial Spirit Award, Emerging Leader of the Year Award, and the list goes on. But he is highly recognized because of all of the high impact that he is having in people's lives. And so this is my best mate, Dan Doyle. Are you there, mate? You're on mute, brother.
Hey, Stevie, I am. How you doing? Thanks.
So wow. Thank you very much. I'll hand it over to you.
What can I say? I've known Mia for a long time now, but I've never heard her story. And to be honest, I could not hold back the tears. That was just absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Mia. I really appreciate that. Thank you for coming on the call. Thanks to you, Stevie, for an incredible, informative presentation as usual. Just want to say that up front, and for Ann and Jim Glenn too, for allowing us to tag on to their incredible educational call that they have every Friday. So just for anybody who's new on this call that didn't hear the last one, if you come on an hour earlier, you're going to be educated, and you're going to hear some incredible speakers, and they're going to be talking about everything and anything to do with the SEA and what it can do for you and for your families. So the thing that we do here is we don't sell anything. We don't sell, we tell. We share our stories. And that's what we do with the SEA. And I'm going to breeze over my story. If you want to see the full story, you can go to ASEADanDoyle.com and you can use that video to share with anybody you like. And hopefully that can help you as far as validation and some credibility, help you to build your ASEA business and to share this with others. If you're new to this call, I would say relax, uncross your arms, unfold your arms and uncross your legs, because as I said, we don't sell anything. We just simply pass on information. You see, somebody's handed you a gift, and whether you open that gift or not is totally up to you. But we're going to give you the information so you can make a decision whether you open up that gift and use it or not. So just relax. Just to go through the company disclaimer again, that these products, this technology isn't intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition, but we have something absolutely outstanding, something that is many, many years ahead of its time, and that is a product, a technology, these molecules that can signal the body to heal itself. So I grew up in Sydney, Australia, and distracted myself from school by playing many sports. I didn't like school at all. Judo, gymnastics, surfing, aerobics, played rugby for many years, and this thing called bodybuilding. So for many, many years, I was into this sport, and I actually had a gym, and it was the start of me being a young entrepreneur. Now, fast forward 20 years from the age 24 to 44, building and selling 20 traditional businesses and employing around about 3,500 people. Wasn't a bodybuilder anymore, but I still used to look after my health by going to the gym every morning and doing more cardiovascular work. So here at the age of 44, didn't know I was coming to the end of my entrepreneurial days, because 6 months after this photo was taken in 2011, doctors gave me some very bad news. This is a picture of me on the right, no hair from the top of my head to my toes. Told me I had 2 major health challenges. This is the start of the worst thing that I've been through in my entire life. And what they put me through in that hospital, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I had 2 of the bad ones. My friend here, Johnny, earlier on in his life, he had 1 of the good ones, which is pretty bad anyway. He'd been through all those hospital visits. And unfortunately, after this photo, his issue came back. He went back into hospital. He never came out. We lost him at the age of 23 years old. So my particular issue, I actually got from using the weed killer, Roundup, from Monsanto. I'm sure you guys can figure out the issue that I had from telling you that, but flipping properties didn't do me any favors, and using that horrendous poison that got into my bloodstream. So when I was told to get my affairs in order after 2.5 years of those hospital visits, I made a decision to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands, did some research. Research led to an alkaline diet. And I also went on a lot of products from a lot of companies around the world. Antioxidants, nutritional supplements, super juices, alkaline water. Now you would think, being on a clean diet, taking all these products, that my body would have been heading in the right direction. This is a result after 2 years of me trying to look after myself. So nothing was working. A friend of mine called in 2014 when this photo was taken and said, I think I found something that can help. Long story short, flew to Salt Lake City from Sydney, met Bart Cotter in the headquarters of this company called ASEA, cellular health company, got something absolutely amazing. I was quite skeptical at the time, started on the product. In 3 hours, there were things expelling so quick from my body, they were coming out of my skin, little red spots all over my upper torso. Next day, 20-year caffeine intolerance. Any more than 2 coffees in any particular day, I got discomfort, bloating, and I'm in a lot of trouble. 6 coffees later, not an issue. That issue that I had for 20 years seemed to have gone away. The next day, 48 to 72 hours on the product, I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital. I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. My lungs were functioning perfect within that 48 to 72 hour period. Flew back to Australia, stayed on the product. 12 months later, 2015, doctors gave me some really good news, told me there was no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, where I used to sneeze, my nose used to run all the time, had gone away. My whole body had been rebuilt top to bottom. Now that was my journey back to health. What about anti-aging? This is a picture of me 3 years on the product. You can see by my complexion, the way I looked, definitely the way I felt, that my body was still heading in the right direction. So those photos, as you saw those, what you saw on the outside is a reflection of what was happening to me on the inside. It's funny, I will go and do a presentation with hundreds of people when we could do them, and I could see in the room who was actually on the product or literally not on the product by the way they were looking. We tend to have a glow when we're on this product. So it's an incredible journey back to health. I was one of these guys who didn't believe in the network marketing business model. If somebody came to me with Amway, this way or that way, I'd run the other way. But, you know, it became a responsibility to start sharing this with people. And as I did after 5 months, and that's one thing I really regret, I waited 5 months to start sharing this with people. What I say now is it was the actual, I say ASEA saved my life, but when I say ASEA, I say the business. It was the business model that saved my life. If it wasn't for the business model and the ability to share this with others, the company wouldn't have sent me thank you checks. Because we could receive thank you checks because we help other people, I invested that back into my health and was able to take a lot more product. So we've had an incredible journey from no health 6 years ago, living in a van, almost going to the Salvation Army for food stamps, to within a short time, 12-month period, being able to do what we want when we wanted to do it, thanks to the business model behind ASEA. So this is the most compelling opportunity that I've seen in my lifetime, being involved in traditional business and now having a lot of knowledge and experience in network marketing. I believe that there's no other shinier object out there. This is the shiniest object. For those involved on this call that are using this for their health, looking at using it for their health, building the business or looking at building the business, I would say that you are in the best place if you actually got involved with this company, because there's nothing out there that compares or competes to what we have. I put my foot down with all that, guys. Hopefully that made sense. We'll have some more time next week where we're going to hold this call on a weekly basis. But I'm going to throw back to Stevie just to finish off talking about how big this opportunity is and what it could do for you and your family. Thanks, Stevie.
Hey, no, thank you, Dan. I appreciate you. You know, and you know, every time we do this, I have to thank you in front of everybody, because, you know, when you gave me the call, what you didn't know is that, you know, my father and my mother-in-law were in a very scary place with their health, and just you didn't know that, but just being brave enough to pick up the phone and knowing the importance of this, being kind enough to share it with me, you know, it had a big impact. It made a big difference. And then, you know, that encouraged me not just to help those two people, but many others. And then, you know, following you has allowed, you know, we had some people that we were worried about physically, but my wife and I were in a very, very scary place financially, and you changed our life in that way too. So thank you, mate. Appreciate you. And folks, you can follow Dan too, and you can go, you know, around the world, bettering people's lives, having an impact, making a difference, and being sent thank you checks for that, because with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. So there is a very big opportunity behind all of this, as you can hear, and that is to make a living while bettering people's lives. So let me explain to you why this is such a significant opportunity. Probably the most compelling opportunity in the world right now. First, ASEA is the world's first and only redox supplement. Now that's for two simple reasons. Number one, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was impossible. And number two, ASEA is heavily patented. But not only is ASEA not allowed to be copied, it can't be. There's no way to look into a bottle and reverse engineer ASEA, because there are trade secrets in making ASEA. So it can't be copied. That means we have no copycats. That means we will have no copycats. And that means no competition. No one in the entire world has what ASEA has. No one. And no other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them. Redox works on everybody. Now, you can't say that about any other product. Nothing in the body works as well or at all without redox. Redox can't hurt anybody. Everybody needs redox. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors, because ASEA gets to a depth and level of achievement in the human body, no matter what somebody's health desires, goals, challenges are. And so whether it's healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity, these are multi-trillion-dollar industries. And again, ASEA is the only company in the world that all of these industries, all of the world can get a redox supplement from. ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream. Our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We want to help you. We want to help a lot of people. We want to help the world, and we can't do that all on our own. We recognize that. And so we look for people to just help spread the word. And ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money, or as Dan likes to call it, thank you checks, just by sharing redox with others. So here's an example of how it works. You receive an ongoing income, not only from the first purchase, but from every single ongoing lifelong purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. And you can refer as many people as you like. On top, you also receive an ongoing income from the lifelong ongoing purchases made by every single person they and others also refer. So just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, or whatever, people tell people who naturally tell other people who then tell even more people. And that's what will happen when you start telling people about ASEA. Word of mouth marketing is not just the most ancient, but still today the #1 most powerful and #1 most effective form of marketing in the world. There are no limits. Think about it, especially with how connected the world is in today's age. I've been connected with people that I'd never met before ASEA in countries that I've yet been able to go to. Word spreads worldwide very easily today. ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening up new markets every year. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. So for people who are looking for a little extra, or maybe part-time, or maybe I just would like to get some more time, or maybe a full-time or a big time, or maybe a legacy leaving income for generations of loved ones, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions. For people who are smart, switched on, business-minded, for people who've been wanting to be in exactly the right place at exactly the right time, who are able to recognize a good thing when it comes their way. This is a good thing. This is a very good thing. This is a very significant opportunity to make a very significant difference in people's lives and to be paid a very significant ongoing income, residual income from the growth of this global expansion. Now, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with ASEA, who you become and who we become, and what we do is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make great money here, that's for sure. And you can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world, and have a really great time meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, a really great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it's the effect we have on others that is one of the most valuable currencies there is. Now, why aren't you hearing about this from your doctor? And not only was that one of my big questions when I first started, but maybe you are now hearing about this from your doctor, because there are now hundreds of doctors all over the world now recommending redox to their patients. They're seeing unprecedented results. But the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars, 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, those big drug companies offered to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights and ownership to the ASEA redox technology. But they wanted ASEA to shut down. They wanted to take everyone off redox. However, thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norden, they had the great foresight to see grave concerns and consequences in such a deal. Because Virtus and Tyler were able to see people who went from very severe health challenges that once left those people and their doctors feeling hopeless, to then experiencing life-changing power from redox. When Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they said no to the payout and yes to the people already experiencing this life-changing breakthrough. You see, what had started as just a big business play had now become more. The ASEA founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. One of ASEA's biggest guiding principles, as demonstrated in this very important decision to say no to big pharma payouts, as to no to selling out, was to always put people and principles before ego and economics. Now, the founders of ASEA and their corporate teams come from very exceptional backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. So believe me, they are exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, famous, household named companies, very professional. But their corporate soul of, at the end of the day, it's people that matter most, is also what makes them unique and truly first class. So you are in very good hands. So please get back to the person who invited you here. Don't worry about what the time is in your neck of the woods. They'll be glad to hear from you. Let them know what you've seen here. Let them know what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can very easily point you to where you can find the answers, because there's plenty of university studies. However, and this is the most important part of all, there are hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing redox experiences for you to see ASEA is the real deal. So let me ask you, do you want to be happier and healthier? Do you want to live younger, longer? Do you want to help people be happier and healthier? Do you want a better life, income, lifestyle? Do you want to increase the prosperity of the planet? Do you want to make a difference in the world? If the answer to any of those is yes, then start by doing it with one person. And that person is you. And then, if you'll only pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others. And your life will become better in many, many ways also. Become part of this Redox reality and you can become more. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy. May you always be well. I want to thank my guests today, the great and my best mate, Dan Doyle, and also the incredible, incredible story and history, Amia, and I thank you. I'm so grateful that I got to hear your story now as well. Folks, what we're going to do is we're going to stop the recording.